Look, Jamie Foxx wasn't poisoned by Diddy. I'm gonna say that again for the people that really don't listen and they with the conspiracies. Jamie Foxx was not poisoned by Diddy. He said it never happened. Never happened. It was a psych meds. Allegedly, he was taking way too many. Mucho mas. He was taking mucho mas of the psych meds, and then they took him out. He say why he was going down. He was thinking they was trying to clone him. Somebody cloned Tyrone. Look, Jamie Foxx all cap. We don't know. The world may never know. Inquiring minds want to, but the world may never know what really happened to Jamie Foxx. But I'm gonna tell you like this: Jamie's part of a demonic business. He's part of a demonic business, and he knows some things that could take some people down. Point blank, period. One may never know what happened on that day. He wasn't poisoned by Diddy, but he might have been plucked by him. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. Y'all drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Papoose throwing shots at Remy Ma. He said he want that divorce. He want them papers signed. Reason being, she couldn't keep her legs closed. Allegedly, it wasn't just the battle rapper, Easy the Block Captain. It was a woman she met in prison that she took home with her. Couldn't keep them closed. Look, Pap gonna say a lot of things, but Pap was just in that jewelry store, in that pawn shop, pawning that Cartier bracelet. I can't say he wrong for it, because he got about 2,600. Look, bro, New York is an expensive place. The man had to do what he had to do, but on top of that, he said he wrote most of the lyrics and never asked for a cent. We all knew that, bro. I was just waiting on one day he was gonna put it out there. He ain't had no rap career. But if you know the alphabet freestyle, you know he got it. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Drop it in the comments. Shout out Papoose. Shout out Remy Ma too. You know what I mean? I like both of them. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Skilla baby survived the shooting in Detroit. This was a drive-by shooting. It happened. This on some 8 Mile shit. Grazed in the head and the back, and he was actually shot in the hand. Stay out the way, fam. These days, rappers are trophies. Yesterday, rappers was trophies. You know what I mean, bro? Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Since the 90s, rappers have been trophies. Why? Y'all get on there. Y'all stunt, talk shit. And you know what? I'm going to say I'm a part of that too. But it's jealousy and envy that's brewing in the background. So that keeps them wolves lurking. Look, the black SUV he was in crashed into a building. He survived a shooting. But hey, armor up. Point blank, period. Get you some body armor, bro. Get you some body armor and some weapons. And keep your eyes peeled. Because this can happen anywhere to anybody. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. Y'all drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Suge Knight throwing shots at Diddy. Look, Cashley recently testified and she said Diddy left one of the parties with 3 pistols looking for Suge Knight because he heard he was eating at Mills. Once he got the Mills, Suge wasn't there. Yeah, Suge had already ate that and left or even doggy bagged it. I don't know, bro, but they don't sit long in LA. If you sit long in LA and eat, it gets dangerous. So you usually just nibble on your shit and go. You know what I mean? Real shit. Well, he wasn't at Mel Shore. They scoured the LA streets looking for him. Couldn't find him. Well, Suge Knight said Diddy would have found him. Sean Combs, Puffy, as some like to refer to him as. If he would have found him and he was full of that coke, oh yeah, it would have definitely went down. But who would have been the victor ain't who you think. Drop it in the comments, man. Suge answering everything. Snoop say he's on PC snitching on the phone. He's just telling the story. You could lock a man up, but you can't lock up his mind. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Surpasses Kendrick Lamar on Spotify. Look, in streams. Look, Drake had 48.1 million. Kendrick Lamar, Duckworth, K-Dot, what some people like to refer to him as, had 31.4 million streams on Spotify. Look, the numbers are drastically changing day by day. day by day, what the people want is more music from Kendrick Lamar. See, the GNX was alright, but it wasn't substantial. It wasn't substantial. The Drake and Party Next Door collaboration has substantial music on it. If you don't know what that means, please go look it up before you get in the comments with the bullshit. You know what I mean? Drake is a numbers guy, mathematics, all the way back to ancient mathematics. That's how he's playing the game. Mathematically, if you play the game mathematically, you'll always win. What the black man must know is all about mathematics. If it makes sense, it makes sense. If it don't, you gotta make that make sense, man. Shout out Drake. He surpassed Kendrick, but he's gonna keep surpassing him. Yeah, he's gonna keep surpassing him, but Kendrick's in the game. He's in the game, win or lose. You know what I mean? Point blank. But who's really winning is in the eye of the beholder. Y'all drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the play. Thug throwing shots at Kid Cudi. This was a tweet in the delete. He say, damn, Cudi a rat, LOL. Deleted it quick. He just wanted to put it out there that that's how he still feel about people that testify in court. For the ones that don't know, Kid Cudi testified against the dealer. He did it. But what you don't understand is you can't call everybody a snitch. This wasn't a lick or nothing like that, bro. Kid Cudi is not a gangster. He's a man. Let's start there. Kid Cudi is not a gangster. He's a man. The man blew up his car. He didn't say nothing, but once the truth is out there, bro, you sit on that stand and perjurize yourself, it ain't gonna be good for you. You must tell the truth, bro. Y'all stop it with all the gangster shit. Everybody think they G's. Everybody think they YGs and YNs. Bro, y'all are just little boys. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. That can't really take that pressure. And this is for the big bros, YNs, unks, everybody. Everybody got that same fear in it. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. For the people that say no fear, you don't know. Fear, it what makes you take it there. You know what I mean? You got to be scared of something. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. Y'all drop it in the comments. Meek Mill denies his connection to Diddy. The dealer, Sean Combs, what some people like to refer to him as. Puff Daddy, he denies his connection. He say Lil Roy never mentioned his name, but somehow people attached him to the situation. He want to get to the bottom of it. When he was at the party, he ain't get nothing but coke vibes from it. I don't know what Meek Mill is talking about, but you were twinning with Diddy, Sean Combs, the dealer, Puffy Combs is what some people like to refer to him as, or Meek Mill calling that man daddy. You was in that water with your ass tooted up, and people want to know. That's how you got attached to it. You was always with him and twinning. And that's just the pictures and the videos that people see. What about the shit that people don't? That man say you put in that work. He say you put in the work, nigga. That's your man. That's your guy. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. It ain't no denying it. Point blank, period. Ain't no denying it. You might as well start applying it. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real, bro. I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help me God. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the play. Quando, Rondo throwing shots at Lil Durk. Yeah, it ain't safe for nobody in OTF. Now, this duty low, everybody knowing. If you follow their movement, the OTF movement, everybody knowing. Brother shit, he dropped that. He was bragging about snatching chains and all type of shit. Well, look here, Wop, Whoop, Quando, Rondo, brother, had his chain. Didn't take it from him. Somehow just wound up in his possession, but he was on live showing that you know what? Chains can be snatched, but it goes both ways. Look, this type of shit ain't gonna never stop. This is why they saying NBA YoungBoy is not gonna be welcome in Chicago September 24th. But what they don't know is, everybody know this, he's coming like he's military. Yeah, they gonna have that whole thing surrounded like he's the president. And it will be at like arena, so about 17,000 people will be there. Drop it in the comments. This ain't never gonna stop, but get what? It needs to. It is pointless, bro. It's pointless. War isn't good for anybody. But y'all gonna learn that. Because everybody think they signed up for prison and death until you find out. When you're faced with it, you find out I don't really want that. Wasn't for me. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the 50 Cent sends a motivational message to Dame Dash. He say, Dame, where you at? Bounce back. This is a small setback for a major comeback, because once you know how to win, you could win again. Point blank, period. Chest out, chin up, make something happen. Look, shout out Dame Dash, because what a lot of people don't know, before all this bullshit started, the man has some of the best financial advice he can give. Sometimes it's better to give advice, because you can't, you know what, you can't use all the advice that you possess, but you could give the advice and other people can do what they do with it. That was Dame Dash. Look, Dame Dash shouldn't even be going through this. Dame Dash made so many people millionaires. Everybody got nuts, and a pocket sits on each side of them. Anybody could have reached in one and paid that bill. Look, Dame worth more alive than, let's just be honest, let's just be real. The man got a lot up here, but he'll be all right. He's gonna bounce back. Drop it in the comments, man. Scar's gonna play. The Plumber throwing shots at Wack 100. Look, he's pressing charges on him. Conspiracy to commit murder and terroristic threats. This goes back to their argument when Wack 100 say he coming for the kids and the mama. They got audio of this. Look, he say he didn't want to, but after really thinking about it, you can't, the wife, kids, old people, that's supposed to be off limits. Once y'all start playing the game that way, he ain't in the game like that anyway. He's doing some other shit, bro. So yeah. Wack 100, allegedly, there's a warrant out for his arrest. Will he'll bail out? Yeah, he'll bail out. This Wack. I'm pretty sure Wack really got that bag that he'll always bragging about. But he'll bail out. But there is a warrant, and Aaron the Plumber is, and he's really a plumber, bro. Like, cleans up shit and all type of shit in his free time. So I gotta respect that. But yeah, he's pressing charges. That's working man. Working man ain't playing with you, or ain't worried about being called a snitch. On top of that, he say some other people are being investigated. Drop it in the comments, bro. This is getting sticky. Remy mom throwing shots at Clarissa Shields. Look, she basically shaming her for being with a man that's 47 years old and she 30. That has a family, has kids, 27, and all this other type of shit. Look, age is nothing but a number when it's all legal. When it's all legal. Now, understand them key words now. If that's a 30-year-old and a 47-year-old, that ain't weird. That's perfect. That's straight. You know, that's doable. All that other shit, she was a child when he was. People ain't thinking about that, bro. They're grown people. So get off of that. But look, this is Clarissa Shields she's talking to, and she responded with dignity. Like, you're still allowed to come to the barbecues and the cookouts if you're on your best behavior. But just sign them papers. Pap sent you, and it wouldn't be no problem, but she gonna speak how she speak. If it came down to a fight, Clarissa Shields would beat the hell out of Remy Ma, as gangster as she wanna be. Let's just be honest, let's just be real. This is Clarissa Shields she's talking about. I watched the movie, bro. Yeah, I watched the movie and looked at her background. That's what you must do with this lady. Yeah, she ain't got no style like that, but she's trying. You know what I mean? Ain't really got no flavor, but she's trying. She's a boxer. She could really whip some ass, man. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. Remy might want to recalibrate her situation and just aim that straight at Pap, but just leave them people alone. Sign them papers and keep it moving. You got you one. Either the block captain. That's who you want. That's who you want. Be with that nigga. But let Papoose be happy. Point blank, period. Drop it in the comments, bro. Scores from the play. 50 Cent is literally being honored and commended, saluted for his Raising Kanan series on Stars. Look, he didn't introduce Breeze. That's Shameik Moore. If you don't know, Breeze is the one that gave Ghost his name. This is from the original, fam. Breeze. This is Breeze. After they killed Breeze, allegedly, well, yeah, Tasha and put that dope in Kanan car, got him arrested. That's what they was in the show. Well, look here. He introduced Breeze. On top of that, Kanan is now, we don't know if he did it, but allegedly he pulled the trigger on Rock. Man, this man got it going on, bro. This show, probably the best out of all the little power, little spinoffs. But I mean, you know what? It's competing because the Book of Ghosts is just as good. With Mary J. family on there with the Tejadas. Look, shout out 50 Cent because he's really writing. I'm, I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. For a lot of y'all that ain't seen, it's like 6 seasons of Power and all type of spinoffs. We're gonna still see what Tommy got going on, but Tommy got to do better. I'm gonna tell you like that, Tommy Sequoia, whatever his name is, he got to do better. Point blank, period. Because the other two, bro, they kind of blowing that one out the water. In a way. Because the last one was okay, but we'll see, bro. Like I said, shout out to him. He's doing his thing with the television series. I can't wait to see the movies, fam. Yeah, I can't wait to see the movies. Allegedly, the one that say they attached him with about the content creator house. He don't want that. He don't want to be attached to it. As a matter of fact, he's suing for them attaching his name to the project. And he's trying to put a stop on that thing even coming out. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real, bro. Y'all drop it in the comments. Cross from the play. Lanez admitted to actually shooting Meg the Stallion, bro. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. They got the audio recording where he say, "Oh, I'm sorry. I know she'll probably never talk to me again, but I was just drunk. I didn't really know what was happening. I know it's not an excuse. It's not gonna make what I did right, but blah, 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 blah." Tory. Not only did you admit to that shit, fam, you didn't get on the stand and testify that you didn't do it. Now all of a sudden, the security guard heard Kelsey say this and that and that. It sounds like bullshit, fam. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Unfortunately, Tory Lanez is gonna have to do that time. Yeah, you heard me right. Tory Lanez is gonna have to do that time. He got like 9 years. They just transferred him because he got pop, stabbed 14 times. The man that did it say Tory allegedly wanted him gone. The world may never know. Inquiring minds want to, but the world may never know, man. Drop it in the comments, man. Tory Lanez. You got to fight for justice. All that people going to think you a snitch. People already think you a bitch, so what does it really matter, fam? Drop it in the comments. Wayne recorded Duffle Bag Boy for free for 2 Chainz back in the day. This was when he was in Player Circle and he was going as Titty Boy. Yeah, I don't know why he called him Titty Boy. I'm thinking he liked them tatas. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. What else is there? But look, Lil Wayne wrote that for free. Originally, he was just selling green, bro. Birdman wanted $900 worth. Back in the day, had to be about probably a pound. I don't know what kind. I don't know if they were smoking Reggie or not. Don't let me lie. But look, he asked Birdman about Wayne. He was gonna charge 2 Chainz $100,000 just to talk to him. Point blank, period. So what he did, he knew Wayne too. He bought him some Gucci red bottoms because he knew he was a blood, allegedly. Brought that to him. Wayne did the shit with a beat CD. Wayne sent the shit to him. What you thought about that record I did for you, that hook? Like, what hook? He sent it to the wrong email, so he resent that, and that was that Duffel Bag Boy. Shout out to Chain, because he always been one of the real ones, one of the last real ones left. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Since he came back as 2 Chainz, he's been on fire. On top of that, he's actually a man, bro. Actually a man, married, holding and dying, and a real father. You gotta salute that, bro. That's what it's about. Kanye West checked into a mental hospital. He's undergoing treatment in a private facility in Spain. Look, this is after the lawsuit that he was mistreating the black staff, making them throw away the MLK and Dr. King books. That's Malcolm X, I'm sorry, and the Martin Luther King books. He didn't want none of them prominent black men speeches, nothing, nowhere around. On top of that, he was treating the black people like shit. Treating them like shit. This is after a lawsuit, so he checked himself in because he was supposed to appear May 20th in court to address this thing, but since he's going to be in that to the end of May, he can't do that. It's going to have to be some type of Zoom call. Kanye is a piece of shit. I'm gonna say that again. Kanye is a piece of shit. I'm not crazy, I'm this, and that. You don't know what Kanye West is, because he was always a character from the beginning. Always just a commercial character. People start taking him as different. You start listening to the bullshit and reading, really feeding into it. That's why his arrogance has reached the climax. But now they're pulling the rug from under him. Pulling the rug from under him. Now they don't even want to hear the shit, yeah? Nobody want to even hear the music. Dave Blunt's took all his hard time sitting on this fat ass with his oxygen tank writing. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. I'm quick as lightning. You don't want to fight me. But everybody like me. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Drop it in the comments. Scars from the playground. Charlamagne the guard defends Megan Thee Stallion. He say, come on, after due process, court, all the evidence that was presented, now all of a sudden the bodyguard heard Kelsey say this and that. He said it only sounds real on the internet. Sounds like bullshit. Tory did that shit. I'm obliged to believe it too. Meg Thee Stallion already came out and put out her own statement. Like, come on, y'all been saying the same thing for years. Same thing, new evidence, new evidence. There's no new evidence. Tory, you shot me. Unfortunately, bro, even after surviving the 14 stab attack, he's gonna have to sit in there and do his time. Yeah, what he forgot while he was all drunk and admitting that he did that shit the next day, he forgot he was going to California institutions. They might have to keep transferring him, like old boy from the Central Park 5. Let's just be honest, let's just be real, because now they're gonna start taking him. Producer sues, files a lawsuit against UMG for $3 million. He say they owed him that from the Carter Tree. He did all type of songs on that, and he stopped getting paid once he sued Wayne, Birdman, and Cash Money Records for not paying him. He said, well, ever since that day in 2011, UMG ain't paid him nothing, and he won it. Look, UMG got it coming from everywhere. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. This is a label. Unfortunately, Lucien Grange wasn't good to everybody. Couldn't be. Prioritized some people and did what he could for them. Left some people on the back end getting over. That's how they do, bro. It's the music business. You ain't gonna never get your just due like you think. It's gonna always be like it's coming to you. It's coming to you. Where after years and years of waiting, this producer was like, when? He's filing papers. He wants $3 million. Nobody has responded yet. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the play. Devil Wears Prada drummer killed in a San Diego plane crash. The Cessna crashed at 4 a.m. Crashed straight into a U.S. Navy neighborhood. Look, it's getting scary out there. Point blank period. It's getting scary out there that you could be in your house and the plane crashes into it, man. This is like Final Destination. And one of my associates recently told me one of them was his old house. Now, he lived in it about 10 years ago, but the chances of that happening is like crazy, bro. Point blank period. Shout out to all the victims of that tragedy, fam. Point blank period. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. I had to do something on it just to shed a little light on it, because when I originally seen it, I was doing something. It was kind of like just flew by my mind. I had kind of forgotten until I seen it again. And it's like, bro, it's like Final Destination out there, man. You be careful, live right. Point blank. And even if you living right, shit could still pop off. It's a wild world. Drop it in the comments, man.
If they throw it, I'ma catch it to play the game like Tetris. I'm one of a kind rap, people tell me I'm a clip. I've been working 24 hours, summertime to winter. I ain't really at the chill, it gotta be about business.